Okay, we are on chapter 4 of book 10, Ghost Town at Sundown. So we just ended with Jack and Annie seeing the horses, and they saw the baby horse, and we made a prediction of what Jack and Annie were going to do with the baby horse. We are going to read chapters 4 and 5 today. Chapter 4 is called Hands Up. It's the colt, It's the colt, said Annie. He's looking for his mother. She ran toward the wild-eyed little horse. Wait, called Jack. Oh, brother. He pulled a book out of his backpack. He found a chapter titled Horses of the Wild West. He started reading. At the at the end of the 1800s, over 1 million wild horses called mustangs wandered the West. These tough, fast horses were descendants of runaway Spanish horses. Mustang herders captured them and sold them to ranchers. Breaking a wild Mustang took great skill. Jack turned the page. There was a picture of a herd of horses. Two of them even looked like the beautiful mare and her colt. Hey, Annie, Jack called out. You should see this picture. Annie didn't answer. Jack looked up. Annie was trying to get close to the young Mustang, but he kept darting away. Watch it! He's wild, said Jack. Annie was speaking softly to the colt. She slowly reached out and grabbed the end of his rope. Still talking to him, she led him a broad wooden post. Stop! Don't do anything, said Jack. He flipped through the pages of his book. He found a section called How to Treat a Horse. The basic rules of how to treat a horse are simple: a soft hand, a firm voice, a sunny attitude, praise and reward. I've got the rules, shouted Jack. Don't do anything before I write them down. Jack pulled out his notebook and pencil. He wrote, Horse rules. 1. Soft hand. 2. Firm voice. 3. Sunny attitude. 4. Praise. 5. Reward. Okay, listen. Jack looked up, but Annie was already sitting on the colt's back. Jack froze. He held his breath. The Mustang whined and pawed the ground. He snorted and tossed his head. Annie kept patting his neck and talking softly. Finally, the young horse grew still. Annie smiled at Jack. I named him Sunset, she said. Jack let out his breath. Let's go, said Annie. We have to take him to his mom. Are you nuts? Said Jack. We have to solve our riddle. It'll be dark soon, and those guys were real bad guys. I could tell. We don't have any choice, said Annie. Oh, brother. Jack knew she wouldn't change her mind. Let's see what the book says. He read more about mustangs. Wild mustangs live together in families. The bond between a mare and her young is very strong. His sound of distress or hunger will always bring her to him. A mustang cannot bear a wander alone. Jack groaned. He looked at Sunset. The young mustang did have a sad look in his eyes. Okay, we'll make a plan, he said. But first, I have to get out of these boots. Jack grabbed one of his boots and pulled. He needed to get those boots off. We're going to make boots today because he always complained about those boots. Hurry, said Annie. I can't even think in these things, said Jack. He huffed and puffed and pulled. Then a deep voice stopped him cold. Hands up, or I'll shoot. Jack let go of his boot. He raised his hands in the air, and so did Annie. A cowboy rode out of an alley. His face was bony and tanned. He was riding a gray horse and pointing a 6-shooter. I reckon you're the smallest horse thieves I've ever come across, he said. Oh no, so they think that they stole the horse But they didn't. See the guy there? That's his little horse. See how Annie's on the pony, the colt, and Jack is putting his hands up, so is Annie. Let's read what happens in chapter 5. Chapter 5 is called Slim. "We're not horse thieves," said Annie. "Well, then, what are you doing with my horse here?" he said. "Some bad guys came through town with his mother," said Annie. "They left him behind because he was too slow." "Yup, must be the rustlers that stole my last 5 mustangs," the cowboy said. "Who are you?" said Jack. "I'm a mustang herder," the cowboy said. They rode through town. Then Sunset showed up all alone. Said Annie. "We're taking him to his mother." "Sunset," the cowboy said. Remember, Annie named him. "Yup," Annie said. "I named him." She was smiling. The cowboy put away his 6-shooter. "Well, you're pretty brave to try and rescue him, Smiley," he said. He called Annie Smiley. "Thanks," said Annie. Jack cleared his throat. "A mustang needs his family," he said. "The bond between a mare and her young is very strong." The cowboy looked at Jack. "Whoa, you're pretty smart to know that, Shorty." "Shorty," said Jack. "Every cowpoke's got to have a nickname," said the cowboy. "Well, what's yours?" said Annie. "Slim," said the cowboy. "My name is Slim Cooley. And this is Dusty." He patted his horse. "That fits," said Annie. Jack agreed. Slim was slim, which means skinny. And Dusty, well, was Dusty. "So tell me," Slim said, "how did you two brave, smart youngins end up in Rattlesnake Flats?" Jack caught his breath. He didn't know how to explain it. The stagecoach," said Annie. Remember, they can't tell him, well, we went in a magic treehouse and it's fun and we got here. So they had to make something up. "We begged the driver to let us off, but I think we made a mistake." Slim looked around. "I'll say," he said. "When the next stage comes through, we're leaving," said Annie. "I see," said Slim. "Well, I'm going to take my colt now and find those rustlers." "You didn't hear where they were headed, did you?" "They said they were going to camp over the rise," said Jack. Must be over yonder," said Slim. He looked at a low rise in the distance. The sun was a red ball over it. "Better get going before dark," he said. "Oh, can we go with you?" said Annie. "No, no, we have to stay here," Jack said quickly. Now that Slim could help Sunset, Jack wanted to look for the answer to the riddle. Plus, he wanted to take off his boots. "Shorty's right to be scared," Slim said to Annie. "This is no job for young'uns." "Scared?" said Jack. "Oh, please, I want to go," said Annie. Slim looked at Jack. "And what do you want, Shorty?" For starters, he wanted Slim to stop calling him Shorty, and he wanted Slim to think he was brave. "Sure, I want to go," said Jack. "What about your stagecoach?" asked Slim. "It's not coming until tomorrow," Annie said quickly. "Well," Slim scratched his chin, "I reckon I could use some brave, smart help. But you have to do everything I say." "We will," said Annie. "Can I ride Sunset?" "I wouldn't say yes to many kids, Smiley, but you seem to have a knack with horses," said Slim. "Now, hang on tight to his mane. I'll just put him along behind me." Slim Slim slipped the rope off the post. Then he held his hand out to Jack. "Put your foot in the stirrups, Shorty, and grab my hand," said Slim. Jack did as Slim said. Slim pulled him onto the front of the saddle. That's what we're going to make too. We're going to make a saddle. See, the saddle here is what they sit on. So you're going to make a horse with the saddle on it. So the boots and the saddle. Jack held on the saddle horn. "Sit tight," said Slim. "It's not far." Slim snapped his reins. Dusty took off, sunset right behind him. Jack bounced up and down. His boots hurt. The sunlight blinded him. Giddy up, said Slim. Giddy up, said Annie. The horse galloped across the prairie, dust flying from their hooves. Achoo! Jack sneezed as he bounced along with the setting sun. And that is the end of chapters 4 and 5. Today we're not going to make a prediction. We're just going to have fun, and you are going to come up with your own nickname if you were a cowboy or cowgirl. My nickname would be Teach. So I would say, I want to be called Teach. I want to be called Teach. Period. I, easy, want, W, want, oh, I hear a T at the end, T, I want to, starts with the T, I want to be called Teach, B, E, called, that could be a C or a K. I'm going to say C, called, what's a D? Teach, T. I want to be called Teach. What would you want your nickname to be? Draw a picture of yourself dressed up as a cowboy or a cowgirl and write your sentence of what you would want to be called. And we are going to make a saddle, and we are going to make cowboy boots because Jack keeps complaining about how they feel.